Agreed. Greetings and salutations. The universe is just doomed. 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 Doomed.
Okay, alimony sucks. Okay, you didn't get to play a policewoman in a wonder bra. But look at you. You grew up gorgeous, and thanks to Cher's pioneering efforts, you still haven't hit puberty. And once upon a time, you were a terrific actress. You've even got an Oscar to prove it.
Hello.
Hi, welcome back.
It's me, Nicole.
And me, Tessa.
And we do not have a research assistant tonight.
Well, we do, but she can't talk. She doesn't have thumbs.
Yeah. It's a dog. And
she's not just a dog.
She's our mascot.
A wonder dog.
Our
she's
pod
a pod
mascot,
dog.
Willow. But yeah, she won't be Googling anything for us tonight.
As like I said, she didn't have thumbs.
No.
Mm-mm.
So before we get into the First Wives Club,
yes,
we want to say thank you to Beth for joining our Patreon.
Welcome.
Thank you, Beth. And you will find some audio of you in there somewhere. Not yet. I haven't uploaded it yet. So if you're looking for your story about the Madonna concert,
it's coming.
It's coming.
Yep.
And so we getting into our second pick for Women's History Month.
Yes.
We decided that since we're, first but only wives so far.
Right. So
we're
far.
First wives, so
I'm your last wife.
We better be. Motherfucker.
Well, we're not like rich people like this.
No, not at all. Well, I guess Bette Midler's, they were rich then, but it didn't seem like they had been rich. But I don't know. They all went to college together. And
well, yeah, like I wondered which college it was. Did it say?
I don't think it said. It's not in my notes anyway.
Well, they all seem to have an awful lot of money because...
Well, they all have three names because I guess it's their maiden and their married names.
Oh.
In the cast list, it's Goldie Hawn as Elise Elliott Atchison.
Oh, I didn't see that. I just saw Elise Elliott.
Bette Midler as Brenda Morelli Cushman. Diane Keaton as Annie McDougan Paradise.
I know. Somebody called her like Paradise.
Or maybe it's Paradise, but there's no
but
E
it
at
looks
the end.
like Paradise. Mm-hmm. We have little Sarah Jessica Parker as Shelly
Stewart, and so now she's the first cast member to actually have three names, and she only got two for her character.
Right. Well, she's not a wife, first or otherwise.
No.
Maggie Smith, who's been a first, second, third, and fourth wife as Gunilla
Garson
Goldberg. Yeah.
All G's.
Yes, Gwynilla. I like it.
Dan Hedaya as Morton Cushman. How many fucking Dan Hedaya movies? So Addams Family. What else? Clueless. Oh, I know there's more. God damn it! I should have looked at his IMDb.
Remind us.
I feel like there's another Dan Hedaya sneaking around in there somewhere.
Was he in? No. I don't know. I
can't remember now.
I feel like he came up again. He's definitely been discussed.
Stockard Channing as Cynthia Swan Griffin.
Elizabeth Berkley as Phoebe Laval.
Oh, I just realized Cynthia Swan Griffin. She takes a swan dive.
Oh, yikes.
Is that on purpose?
Yikes. There's another thing that comes up later on where I'm like, wow, I can't believe you fucking said that.
Oh, you just said Elizabeth Berkley, right?
Yes.
Victor Garber as Bill Atchison.
Marcia Gay Harden as Dr. Leslie Rosen.
Bronson Pinchot.
Oh, shit.
As Duarto Feliz. We've also done quite a few Bronson Pinchot films.
Just one other one.
Just True Romance? Was it? He was in True Romance and I feel like there was something else. I feel like we said Scrump more than once.
We've brought that up before. Maybe it was for something else.
Well, he will come up again because eventually we'll do Beverly Hills Cop.
Oh, that's
and he's
right.
in there. So I have a reason again.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Jennifer Dundas or Dundas?
Dundas, yeah.
As Chris Paradise.
Paradise. Eileen Heckart as Catherine, the mother.
Yes. Stephen Collins, boo, as Aaron Paradise.
I can't.
As Aaron Pedophile. Aaron Paradise.
He admitted to it. That's not rumor.
It's not speculation.
Should we just?
It's not an allegation.
Now, yeah, no. He actually said it with his own mouth, and apparently it came out while his wife, who he was in the process of going through a divorce with, was recording him on the phone, most likely for like court.
Why would you admit to those things?
I don't know what she was trying to
ex-wife?
get. I don't know what I don't know what he was thinking.
But he admitted to this was when he was 25.
When he was 25,
he molested a 12-year-old or something. He said,
or no, 10-year-old.
Oh, a 10-year-old
at that point, and then again, a 12-year-old and a 13-year-old that he was
exposed himself to. Come on now, dude. That's not a 17-year-old,
you know
which is still not okay, but like,
if that's what you admit to out loud on the phone,
then what do you keep in secret?
Gross. And he's gross in this movie, so it's not like it ruined anything for us. He's a fucking asshole.
And Rob Reiner as Dr. Morris Packman.
I have also Philip Bosco as Uncle Carmine. There's a lot of people.
Go ahead.
That's all I have. Jon Stewart was in a cut scene.
Mm-hmm.
The young thems, Adria Tenner as young Annie, Dina Spivey as young Elise, Michelle Brilliant as Brenda, Julie Hera DiStefano as young Cynthia, and Timothy Oliphant.
Oh yes, that's right.
Artunian.
Mm-hmm.
Artunian. Then, of course, we see Kathy Lee Gifford, Gloria Steinem, Leah Delaria, and
Ivana Trump.
Ivana.
First wife.
Shame what happened to her.
Oof. Woof.
Woof. Like
so
I said.
We get sort of an animated opening.
Yes, I wrote
drawings.
that semi-animated opener, which of course I like it, Annie. Hey, a little girl. Talk about like have some dinner, be a princess, love your man.
All the things that you could do in the 60s as a woman.
Right. And it's like, at first I thought, I was like, this movie starts off like really super dark. But no, we have yet another fucking college graduation.
I know. So many graduations we've done without realizing lately.
With the valedictorian, which was Cynthia, of course.
And it's the class in 1969.
Yes. They all like, all this shit's going on in 1969. And they were all very sure of themselves and excited about the world, and Cynthia comes in with pearls and champs.
Yes,
and pearls.
she got them all pearls as a graduation gift.
Right.
These 4 girls are all best friends.
This is fucking weird because like the casting was good enough, but it was weird to have their voices.
Well, and the Bette Midler girl,
I know.
I mean, they were all pretty good, but the Bette Midler girl, was like, whoa, so good.
I know, but like they dubbed their own voices over these young girls, and it seemed
Who
weird.
was it in Beaches? Wasn't it Mayim Bialik?
Yes,
and
it
she
was
actually a really good baby Bette Midler.
Yes, it was.
We can't do Beaches. It's too sad.
It's too sad.
But if you want to cry, go watch Beaches. It's a great film, but we're not going to talk about it.
Beneath my wings.
We'll tell each other that occasionally when she
You're
brings me cigarettes or whatever. I'm like, girl. She brings me a bottle of vodka. I'm like, yes, I didn't have to go to the store. You're the wind beneath my wings. For all the important reasons.
Of course, for all those things.
So their graduation, cheers. We're going to be friends forever.
Yeah, they're taking pictures and it's all fun.
Flash to the present where Cynthia is crying over her pearls,
She's
looking
drunk,
at old photos,
clutching her pearls, and we see the newspaper that her ex has remarried a much younger gal.
Yes.
Heather Locklear.
Yeah,
in fact,
that's right. Which she didn't even get credited, I don't think. But
so she gives the letters and the pearls to her maid, who's like, "Oh, Miss Cynthia, no!"
Like she's like, "No,
really worried.
Consider it a raise. Take the rest of the day off, but take these letters.
You're not gonna have a job by the time.
Take the rest of your life off,
right? What's she gonna do? I mean,
is she gonna sell them pearls?
I mean,
I hope she's gonna come back and rob that house.
Oh yeah, she should.
Because
that should be another story.
Because only he's gonna get it. She should have gave her all kinds of shit. She should have said, like,
I know.
fill up
She
your
should have
fucking
said,
pockets.
Get a big sack with the dollar sign
there
on
you
the
go.
outside.
Yes,
Fill
where's
it up.
your robber sack?
Burgle me.
Rosalinda, whatever your name is. Come on, go get your burglar sack.
Yeah.
Go
some
find
shit.
some
You
trash
like it?
bags.
Take it.
Take whatever you want.
Take whatever you want. You want this fur? I won't
and in
be
fact,
needing
now
it.
I'm like, that's kind of stingy to just give her the pearls. And the pearls were meaningful.
I know.
You should have like died with the pearls in your hand.
Oh, that would have been like.
But let her take all the other jewelry.
Right? She should. Well, you know what? Nah. Because that would have like set her up. Like the husband would have gone after her.
True.
It's like,
she robbed her and pushed her over the rail.
Yeah,
I guess
she like murdered her. They give her the fucking chair. You know what? Maybe it wasn't such a bad idea. She should have at least cut her a fucking check, though.
Right?
She should have at least cut her a fucking check.
Yes. Well, maybe she put a trust. Maybe there was like a little something aside for her.
Right? For her like lady in waiting.
She told her accountant like make sure she gets a nice little
sizable
bundle.
inheritance.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it seemed like a kind of a spur of the moment thing, but
it did. So she picks up her fur and her drink and goes out on the porch for a smoke.
Right.
And the young fit lady neighbor is waving from her treadmill, and she's like,
yeah, great. Hey, how's it going? Don't look.
Puts her drink down, climbs up onto the bench. Mm-hmm. And you hear Diane Keaton is our narrator through this movie, which there's not a ton of narration, but if anything needs narrated, it's Diane Keaton.
She like gives that little exposition real quick, and she talks about how Cynthia, out of all of them, was most likely to succeed.
When she decides to do something, she goes right ahead and does it.
Yep, off she goes.
So it doesn't show her do it, but
but you get the picture.
You get the picture. So we get Annie coming home to her yapping dog, checking her messages.
Right. Her mother is like, where are you?
Call me urgently.
Yeah. And her daughter's like, where were you last night?
You were with that man again, weren't you?
He is your father.
So disappointed.
No.
He's just using you.
You're a doormat.
So she's like, look, I'm a lesbian, but that's not the issue.
What's bothering you? Like, is it a boy? And she's like, Mom,
I'm a lesbian.
That's
not. And her mom's like,
huh?
And she's like, what? No, I'm not even talking about that.
When you say lesbian,
and don't tell Dad. I want to tell him when the time is right, like Father's Day or Christmas morning,
like Thanksgiving or something.
Yes, I love her.
I know, she's hilarious. Like, she clearly hates this man.
Yes,
she
her
hates
own
this
father.
Man that is her father. Well, he's a dick.
Who knows what he did to her? Who knows?
Because he's gross.
Because we find out what he already doing to her. So who knows even before that?
Right.
So daughter's lecturing her about being a doormat, and grandma shows up wanting to know where she was and is so happy to hear she was with her husband.
Yeah. That like, oh, I'm so happy because Chris, the daughter, is like, she was out with Daddy last night. Like,
like, oh, thank goodness.
Right. Like, she's all pleased about it.
And she calls her daughter's like doormat.
Lesbian.
So then we go over to Elise in present day, begging Rob Reiner.
To me now.
Oh, she wants collagen injections, more collagen injections.
Yes. He's like, if I give you any more, you're going to look like you fell in a pool drain.
Yes. And she's like, look, I haven't worked in like 18 months. I have an audition. Mm-hmm. And she says she's 45. Y'all, that's 1 year older than me. I'll be 45 this year.
I mean.
So not even a year older than me.
I don't appreciate this shit.
I don't.
Well, they all celebrated their 50th.
So they were only 5 years older than they were portraying, but
they put that, well, because that's already being inscient.
True.
And
like she talks about later with what acting roles are available.
And beauty, man.
And she wants to be young, science fiction young.
He's like, if I give you any more lifts, you're going to be able to blink your lips.
Yes. And he's like, look, I know you're upset about the divorce and Bill's new movie. And she's like, fill him up.
Yeah.
She's
fill him up. Like, I didn't pay for this shit.
So then over to Brenda, who's eating snacks, trying to get her son's attention, who's walking around with his little sports Walkman on.
Right. And she gets a phone call confirming Burning Sensation.
The band he wants for his bar mitzvah. And
Burning
he's stoked.
Burning
Sensation.
Right. So, and she puts Hebrew on his headphones because it's like 3 weeks.
Yes, and she's like, look, this is the only thing your father's willing to pay for is this bar mitzvah. Please learn Hebrew.
Yes.
So you get kind of what you need to know in little bits without them narrating so-and-so got divorced.
Right.
And here was the...
Like, clearly there's some complicated relationships going on.
And this is all based on a book. I'm sure it's probably close to the... I didn't read it, but...
No, I haven't read it either, but apparently I did learn when I was looking up stuff about this that the author of the book, whose name escapes me at the moment, and we don't have a research assistant. Yeah, it's a lady. But like part of this book was like the pressures to stay young, and beautiful for men, for whoever, for yourself, like to never age and all that shit. And she, at the age of 54, died from complications of plastic surgery.
The writer, Olivia Goldsmith,
yes,
which I just looked up.
Her.
I'm gonna click her name. Death. Goldsmith died as a result of complications, heart attack from cosmetic surgery. Her final 2 books were published posthumously.
Wow.
The song Edith Wharton's Figurines from Suzanne Vega's 2007 studio album is dedicated to Goldsmith.
Interesting.
Edith Wharton's Figurines.
Girl.
But her name is Olivia Goldsmith. So
I don't know what that's about. Did she write about Edith?
I don't know.
Whatever that was. I can't. That was so many names that you
I
just
know.
gave me right now.
Suzanne Vega. What did I say?
Suzanne Vega.
In Olivia Goldsmith's bio, it says that Suzanne Vega's 2007 studio album Beauty and Crime is dedicated to Goldsmith, but that the song is Edith Wharton's Figurines.
Figurines. Olivia Goldsmith.
Maybe that was one of her
Vega.
books or something.
Or and
maybe
that's
she
what I'm
wrote.
thinking,
Yeah,
like maybe
wrote
she
about
was
her.
a character in one of her books.
I don't know.
But yeah, ironic.
Anyway,
don't you think?
So Annie's out for a walk with her mom and the dog, telling her that she and Aaron are going to therapy.
Her mom's face, like...
She's like, you don't need therapy. You need self-esteem.
She was like, you don't need self-esteem. You're married.
Yes,
you have a child. You're very happy. You don't need self-esteem.
And she's like, Dr. Rosen says you're very controlling.
Right. She's like, me? Controlling? Roach, go.
The dog just looks at her like, oh, shit.
Yeah, a little roachy.
So they come home to the news on the TV that Cynthia has died by suicide.
Right. She jumped off of her building, and they all...
You see them all get funeral. The news. Elise sees it on the newsstand.
Monty Mohammed.
I know she can't even like hold a cigarette in her lips. It's just like falling out.
Could you imagine having that look on your face, that face on your look, when you find out the news
that one of your oldest friends died?
Right? She can't even like emote.
Well, she looks sad.
Well,
I guess.
she looks. I guess this was like
pouty.
Before Botox, so you could actually still. You just hire.
Yeah, it's just heavy.
Mouth like.
So Elise arrives at the funeral and meets up with Gwynilla, the queen of New York society.
Right, like there's the streets blocked off. Like people are.
It's a big deal.
Well, she's
a high society lady.
High society person. And then also because of like space issues in New York, maybe that's also part of it. I don't know.
So Brenda's over there singing at Elise, who does not appear to recognize her. Right. She just keeps walking.
Like Duarto.
Brenda's like, there with God. Duarto.
He's like, she looks wonderful. Has she had any work done? Honey, she's a quilt.
Yes, seriously. Some of Bette's lines are some of the best ones. I know. And Brenda's there with him. Cynthia's former husband arrives with his young new wife, Heather Locklear.
Everybody's like, holy shit, I can't believe.
The vampire Lestat and Louis, she says.
Like, what a fucking dick. He's like, you don't know what he's feeling.
And he's feeling up her titty.
That's what he's feeling, this motherfucker.
You don't give a fuck.
How dare you?
You don't give a fuck.
How dare you show up here? No one expected you to.
No.
No one expected you to.
You're the reason she did this.
You didn't need to do it to keep up
That
appearances.
is distasteful, sir.
It is indeed gauche.
I hope people stop doing business with this man after this.
No, they didn't.
Because it's in the papers.
Like, it's a Wall Street dude. Like, that's what they love that shit.
Oh, look, he felt up his girlfriend or his whatever new wife during
his new wife at his ex-wife's funeral.
There was no roller coaster.
Man's
didn't happen.
A legend.
He did it in the church pew because there was no roller coaster available.
There you go. There you go. This motherfucker.
So yeah, after the funeral, like they finally reconnect and Elise realizes who they are, remembers who they are. She's like, oh.
Right. And like Annie's like, well, do you think we can, I don't know. Like, you want to
get lunch?
She's like, oh no, you're right. Like why?
Let's get lunch.
Let's get lunch. So they go and they start, well, Annie doesn't start drinking, but Brenda.
Yeah, she gets a virgin Bloody Mary.
A virgin
Just
Mary.
cold tomato soup. Come on, ma'am.
Gazpacho?
Right?
Gazpacho?
And Brenda cannot stop looking at Elise's lips.
I know. She's like, all right. Because after a while, they get
They
They
there,
stay there for a long fucking time, like catching up and whatever.
So yeah, they catch up. They forgive each other for not staying in contact and start talking about why would Cynthia have done this.
Right, and that's what Elise is like, oh, I bet she gave him the best years of her life, and then he left her for some preschooler.
I'm guessing.
You too?
You, Brenda?
Yep.
My
Midlife
Morty
crisis.
got to be this big shot on TV selling electronics. And now, did Dan Hedaya sell electronics or sell furniture or something on something else? Because I feel like this was not the only role he had where he was like a TV personality in the... Or whatever, like he did. Maybe it was just this one. God damn it, research assistants.
Just
Dan Hedaya, look that up.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
So they start commiserating about he got midlife crisis. He gets an earring. What are you, a pirate?
What's next?
Now I'm a big drag because I won't go rollerblading. What's her name? Shelly, the Barracuda.
Right.
She's 12.
She's 12.
And Annie's like, oh, well, I'm sorry. Like, my marriage is great.
Yeah, like,
it's fine.
Great.
We're
25 years.
We're just temporarily separated. And they're both like, oh.
Just temporarily separated. Sure.
Mm-hmm. So after several drinks, Brenda finally asks Elise, look, I got to know.
Right.
What's in those lips?
What's in them?
Is it wax? What else you have done? And she's like,
Did you get like... Just a little bit, or
she's
the
like, no, I just work out and watch my diet. I haven't
Freeway. He was in Freeway.
Oh, who was he in Freeway? Why am I blanking on who was he in Freeway? It's on her dad because she only had the mom.
But we did that movie and he was in it.
Oh, I can't remember now.
I can't either, but I'm still looking. But yeah, like that whole line about the whole enchilada, about the plastic surgery. Mm-hmm. Originally, it was the whole Ivana. And they had to change it.
But then Ivana was going to be in it. So they're like, oh, no, like, enchilada.
We'll walk that back.
So, yeah, she finally admits she's been freshened up a little bit.
Right. She's like, oh, okay. Because Annie's like, no, why would she? She wouldn't have to do any of that. Like, you know, whatever. You look great and everything's good. And she's like, okay.
Elise, you're lying through your caps.
Yeah. Do they let you keep it?
Right? The stuff they take out. Do they let you? I gotta tell you, I love Bette Midler.
I know.
I feel like that's just her.
I really do.
I feel like if you sat and talked to her, she would be totally goofy and down to earth, but like witty and
funny.
Yeah.
I
love you, Bette. You'll never hear this, but we love you. So yeah, they shut down the restaurant. They say so long.
They were there for so long, and like, oh wait. Oh, yeah, because now Elise is, like, way drunk. She's like, man, it's like the 90s. It's, like, just good grooming.
That's just what people do now, the plastic surgery.
Youth and beauty, man.
And they're asking Annie, they're like, wow, you're genuinely happy,
really
right?
Happy. What is it?
Lithium? Oh.
So now we see Annie's at her therapy session, and she, like, wants to win therapy.
Yes.
She wants so badly.
And she's talking about meeting up with her old friends.
You would have been so proud of me. I was the only positive thing at that table.
Work from love.
Grow from love.
Fuck the world. That's the quote I wanted. That's the one I couldn't think of for the title was work from love, grow from love, fuck the world.
Yeah, we could do that then.
If I can find it. I didn't see it anywhere. I'll have to see.
It was like screw the world or something, not fuck the
world. I thought she said fuck the world, but maybe not. Because she wouldn't say it. She's all, no, I can't say that.
Well, because she's like, you have a problem with unresolved anger.
And she's like she takes out this Nerf bat and is like, come on.
She's like, come on, hit me.
No, I couldn't. And she like barely taps her with it. And she starts provoking her.
Tough guy. And then she just like bop bop.
She just like goes the fuck off.
Right. She's like, ooh, that was good. She'll be glad she did that later.
Time's up.
Yeah.
She's like, on that note, our session is over. So now Elise and her lawyer are meeting with her ex and his lawyer, and you find out he was the producer of a bunch of her films.
Right.
So they're like, she's indebted to him, and she's like, excuse me.
Right. Like, what
he was not a producer when I met him.
I taught him fucking everything he knows. All of this shit I bought.
And this smug fucking look on this motherfucker.
I would have come across the fucking table.
Hell to the yes.
Give a shit.
This look, you're going to look me in the motherfucking eye?
You don't play in my fucking face.
While you try to take my assets? knowing you don't deserve them and you fucking have some young teenage slut in your bed and you're going to smugly look me in the eye.
Right? You're going to sit over there and fucking smirk, motherfucker. I'll murk you.
Oh my God.
She had money. Mm-hmm. She could get him taken out. They knew Uncle Carmine. He offered to do it for one of them.
That's true.
He could have murked all three.
That's
boom,
true.
boom, boom. Done and
she
done.
had the money.
That'd have been a short movie.
Right? Oh, the hardcore First Wives. The First Wives
reboot.
gang. Like
it's like a cross between Set It Off and First Wives Club.
The First Wives mob. They fucking be capping asses.
Grazie. Say hi to your mother for me.
Exactly. So yeah, that discussion happens, and he's with this fucking smug look the whole time.
I can't. Like, I want to fucking put hands on him.
Yes,
he's just acting.
I want to throttle him.
He just acted.
But
I don't
still.
know. Is he an asshole like that?
I don't know. I don't know anything
about him.
So now Brenda and Duarto are window shopping.
This is like another voiceover about how Brenda works for Duarto Felice, who is one of the 10 worst
interior decorators in the city.
And in this store, they run into Morty,
who's waiting with Shelly's purse while she tries something on.
They're all stunning. I want all of them.
And she reads him the right act. He's like, please don't embarrass me. And she's like, oh, no.
Embarrass you? Like, I got the landlord harassing me on the fucking rent.
And while you're in here in your nice ass suit, like waiting for your girlfriend to buy a $1,000 cocktail dress or whatever.
Sob. It's an Elaya. He bought one for Cher.
That's right. So yeah, he's like, no, I have no money. I have no money. And she's like, check your purse.
Yeah. You got a nerve.
And Shelly, with the nerve, comes out the dressing room. She's like,
I'd have come at her too in the middle of this store.
Because Brenda's like, my, the bulimia certainly has paid off. And Shelly like, starts making fat jokes like,
why don't you go try these on in your
size?
And like, she gets all hurt.
She does.
I mean, like, I feel like
you could swat her like a fly.
You could. Just bat. She could knock her over with a titty.
Right? Just like that lady. Oh, what is that TikTok or whatever? Where she be bopping like shit with that loose titty.
Them titties akimbo. Mm-hmm. That's what her name should be. Pat and Penny.
Titties akimbo. So now Elise is at her meeting with this gifted young movie maker, this very young Timothy Oliphant.
Yes, and I guess he got this because they liked he did set design. And they liked his set design.
Was this his first role?
I feel like it said it was.
Oh, interesting.
And that's what he was known for before, but people were like friendly with him, so they put him in the movies.
So she thinks she's there because he wants her to be the lead in this indie film, and he's like talking all descriptively
about like the character. Well, like what is your vision for the character? And he's like, oh, grotesque.
And
she's like, what?
Elise Elliott, the crypt keeper.
Right? Like overhead lighting, like we expose every pore. Like she's got to be like a monster. It's going to be epic.
Monique's mother, he finally drops, and she's like, oh, you want me to play the mother? Which, ma'am, you're 45.
I know.
You're old enough to play a teenager's mother.
Like, you could go ahead and be upset about, like, but when you read the script.
That you thought you were the ingenue.
No, baby. He wants to do hagsploitation.
He sure do.
And he wants you to be his hag.
Yes, he do. So we see Brenda come home all sad and tired. Her son left a message. He's spending the night at Dad's.
So she's home alone, so she goes out to dinner alone.
Elise is at the bar drinking, telling the bartender about how they want. Which that guy was on Frasier. That guy is on a bunch of episodes of Frasier as he does like the chef show or whatever, like the restaurant review show.
He looked familiar.
But he's like, the whole joke is everybody thinks he's gay, but he's married to a woman and he won't ever admit that he's gay, but he uses all these double entendres that make it really sound like he makes all these gingerbread muscle men for Christmas that he can't stop eating.
Hot.
Yeah. So yeah, I remember that guy from that. Anyway.
Yeah, and like she's like, they want me to be the mother. He's like, I'm sorry, what?
Right? Oh, do I know you, ma'am?
Beg pardon? She's like, does this look like the face of a mother? Certainly not my mother, ma'am.
It's certainly not my mother, ma'am.
So like Now,
Annie's home making dinner with her mom when Aaron calls to meet for dinner.
No feeling for noodles. But yes, Aaron calls and like wants to take her out to dinner, meet for dinner, and she's like, "Oh, yippee skippy!
It's time. He's ready to recommit.
He's worked through all of his issues, even that weird thing about me poisoning his food.
Which, what the fuck?
What was that about?
That's a weird aside.
I wonder if they go into more of that in like the book. Now I'm
maybe
gonna have to read the damn book.
Damn it. So we go in between Brenda treating herself to this dinner alone. Mm-hmm. Annie arrives to meet Aaron, and there's like full-on waltzing happening at this fancy restaurant.
Oh yeah, she walks in on like straight onto the dance floor, and he's whining her, dining her later.
Yeah, like at first you think she's right, like he's romancing her. Mm-hmm. He's got that look in his eye. He immediately asks her to dance.
Right. They have a nice time.
They make out. It seems like they had sex. Like you don't see it happen, but like afterward, he's in a robe.
She's getting dressed, so you would assume.
And she's like, "I gotta go, but tomorrow you can move your things back in."
And he's like, "Oh, Annie, I want to get a
divorce."
And she's like, "What,
mother?
All of these people would have been physically.
I'm about to get up out my chair.
I know. I'm like."
You motherfucker.
I want to physically harm these people.
You just
like,
wine me, dine me, 69 me, and then just with a smile said, Annie.
Grab me by the face. And then.
I want a divorce.
And then. That's not even the worst part.
And she goes, is there someone else? No. There's nobody else. There's nobody else. I just asked you out to tell you this, and then I thought it would be romantic, and then bam.
Dr. Rosen comes in. Excuse me? Oh, my God.
And I'm sorry, why are they in a hotel? Is this not a hotel?
This is a hotel because that's probably, I don't know.
I don't understand. So he's been probably living in a hotel since she kicked him out. Girl. But like Dr. Rosen knows what he's meeting up with her to do tonight. She didn't call ahead before walking into the hotel room.
Well, I'm sure she didn't assume that they would have gone back to the hotel room to like fuck, and he doesn't cover his shit.
And like she doesn't notice this whole. She's all excited, like, "Oh, you told her he's in a robe, ma'am. What do you think just happened?"
He was like, "I was totally upfront." Like,
no, you were not,
you
sir.
Weren't.
And ma'am, you should lose your license.
You absolutely should.
They've only been separated a few months.
Interest.
A few months.
You're
she says.
priming her to accept this fucking separation and divorce.
And I'm sorry, to get some pedo dick?
Gross.
Ew.
Nasty. She's way too old.
And the doctor's like, you're allowed to be angry, Annie. And she
angry?
I'm sorry.
I would have torn them
I'm
both
sorry I ever
apart
met you, and I'm sorry I allowed myself to love you. She just like fucking loses her mind.
Yes. She fucking
finally.
Because yes.
Finally.
You know what? They're fucking lucky she didn't have a Nerf bet.
Right? She would have beat the shit out of them.
Nerf bet.
And before we find out what the resolution to these terrible problems with these terrible men is, we're going to take a quick break.
We should.
We'll be right back. Hey guys, we got another new friend for you.
Our friend Cherish makes these amazing handmade pop sockets for your phone that are super detailed little works of art and feature icons from some of your favorite childhood films like Neverending Story, Labyrinth, Ghostbusters, and more.
I bought the sandworm from Beetlejuice for my phone, and it is super adorable. It even has like real sand around the base of it, like it's coming out of the sand.
I know, I've seen it. It's super cute. But you can watch her make them on her TikTok channel or get your own over at cherishheathart.com and use our code DOOM10 for 10% off on us.
That's cherishheathart.com.
Later, Doomers.
We're back.
We're back in mail call.
They've all received their copy of Cynthia's letter.
Yes, that reads, Annie's reads anyway. Dear Annie, I'm so sorry we didn't remain in each other's lives, but I knew you'd be someone important. Sometimes I envied your life. What I read seemed so perfect. Like, what did she do? Like, she read in the society papers?
I guess, because he was a marketing exec, and she was too at one point.
Her daughter tells her to get back into advertising. So I don't know, maybe. It's funny. In college, I dreamed of making a difference, of helping others. But now it's as if I never existed. I wish I had talent like Elise or Brenda's humor or your strength, Annie. Most of all, I wish I still had our friendship. Perhaps. Perhaps Gil isn't the problem. Perhaps loneliness is. Please take care of each other. Love, Cynthia.
And of course, they all feel guilty that they did not take care of each other. They have not stayed in contact.
And on such pretty stationery.
Oh. So they get together to talk about it. Mm-hmm. They're lamenting their losses and being alone.
Right. And that's when Annie finally said, oh, no, she says for 25 years.
Oh, okay. That's how long they've been married.
Right. So right
together.
out of college.
Yeah.
I guess maybe they met there. Anyway, she'd been married to the most self-absorbed man who's marrying my therapist, who I paid a fortune.
And they're like,
to lecture me on self-esteem. They're like, oh, you win.
Ooh.
She's like, well, I'm not going to do it anymore. Like, what happened to us is bullshit.
What do we want? Revenge?
No. Justice.
Ooh, I'm going to give him so much justice.
I just can't even take it anymore.
And Brenda's like, look, I don't want to see Morty hurt or
Right,
harmed. And they're looking at her like all gooped. And she's like,
I
no.
want him dumped
in front of everyone on the Western Hemisphere. And Elise
and then
is
after
like,
that, I want world peace.
Yes. Elise is like, if all of the first wives of the world got together, what do we need? We just need us.
Right.
3 women who aren't afraid to fight.
Yeah. So they all throw their rings in the champs.
And First Wives Club come to order.
And there go Elise. Glug, 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 glug,
They're
glug,
looking
glug,
at her
glug,
like, oh, okay.
Because that's what you said. You thought that she drank her own ring, but only
no, all
Annie
the
had
rings were in Annie's glass.
She had to, also, like you said, ew.
Ew. Who knows how long it been since them rings been cleaned? I leave my
on
wedding
your
ring
hands?
on all the damn time.
Well,
I mean, I
that's also
shower
on
with
when
it.
I wash my hands.
Yeah,
so
I
mean,
shower and wash
I guess
it,
it's
but-
just as clean as my hands are.
But I wouldn't drink
there's-
champagne you dipped your finger in either.
No, that's also true. I don't know when the last time it was you washed your hands.
We're also in post-COVID time, so
also that definitely
we're a little more
shades
aware
a
of
lot
germs.
That's very true. That's very true. A lot of things that didn't seem weird back then seem really
Yes.
gross now.
So figuring out what to do next was harder. So they decide
Right.
to start gathering information about their husbands.
Annie's like, we need to have a spy. So they go down to a gay bar.
Which, not just a gay bar, a fully just lesbian
Yeah,
bar.
it's
There's
just
no
a
dudes
lesbian
there.
bar. Yeah, so they go down there to find Chris and Diane Keaton. She is so my auntie. Like, my auntie is, like, she even sounds like her. She kind of looks like her a little bit. And when she tells that, like, I think you're just great. There you go. Like, that
Lesbians
is my
are
auntie.
just great.
Yeah, lesbians are just great.
And so Elise immediately gets recognized by some butch lesbian who's like, hey, you want to dance? Yeah.
Miss Fritter.
You want to dance?
Yeah.
And she's actually like, yeah,
she's like, I knew you were gay. I told everyone.
And Annie interrupts Chris flirting with some girl.
She's like, Mom.
Like, oh my God, what are you doing here? And Brenda sits down next to a crying lady and commiserates about her lover left her after 18 years for some teen who weighs 12 pounds. And she's like, that's just like me and Morty.
She's like, that's my Morty.
Ooh, she's butch.
Dan Hedaya.
Oh my God.
Could you imagine?
So the daughter, Chris, is stoked
She's
to
into it.
vaporize these terrible men.
Right,
She
she's
is
like,
in.
well, no, not like nail them, but just like teach them whatever. She's like,
like, whatever,
vaporize 'em.
I'm
She's like,
in.
I'm into it. So they were like, come on, we're good. Like, let's go, Elise.
But
or
Elise is
whatever.
working it on the
Right?
dance
She's
floor.
like, nah, she's staying. And here comes Bette,
Brenda.
who's-
She's with
Oh, yeah.
me, babe.
Yeah. Oh.
Let's go to my place.
Yeah.
So butch.
I know. You're so possessive.
So Chris asks her dad for a part-time job at his business until graduation. And he's
this
like,
motherfucker
what?
with his feet kicked up on the desk all the time. Who the fuck?
He's like,
Gross.
you've never shown any interest in advertising. And she's like, but I want to learn.
Right. Come on, Dad. How about a little nepotism?
Nepotism. Give me a little nepo baby status.
Yeah.
So he's like, all right, I'll get you a job.
He's like, no, I'll hire you. I just,
just surprised is all. Elise goes to Bill's office with some mover guys and is like,
or like secretary
the
or whatever. Like, can you
Lichtensteins, the
please
fucking-
stop? Please, I'm begging you. Like, you know,
she must do
like,
this
he's
all the
on
time.
phone. That's what I'm saying. This poor woman, because who's she gonna? This is Elise Elliott. It gives
Right?
the
You're not going to
impression-
stop her.
It gives the impression that she's a star.
Yes.
Like it would be like Goldie Hawn walking in.
Yes.
Shit and
Yeah.
be like,
yeah.
"No, could
She's
you not-"
herself, kind of.
Right.
So, yeah, she's taking all the good stuff because his lawyer ordered that they liquidize all their
Right, and
assets. And she's
he-
like, well, I bought you all these things.
He said that she
this is
should,
per your request.
per your request. I am taking our common assets. I bought this shit.
And at first he's all, oh, you're the best. And then she
Right.
takes his desk.
He's
and
like,
all
you
of his
can't
stuff.
do this. I'm on the phone with the coast.
This is hormonal. You can't do this. And she's like,
Watch me.
This is my stuff. It's the 90s, Bill. Downsize. So at the bar mitzvah 2 weeks later, they get the first big break.
Right.
Brenda's dear Sicilian uncle Carmine.
Well, and before Uncle Carmine, Morty shows up with Shelly. The fucking nerve.
In a fur and
Is
this
she a
tiny
gift?
dress. I know, he brought her to my
At
son's
least-
bar mitzvah, and she's like, Annie's
At
all,
the
is
very
she a
least,
gift?
he didn't seem to finger her in the front row.
No,
at his
he did
son's
not.
Bar mitzvah. It's
So-
not even like they're married. I'm just saying.
I know.
It's
The girlfriend that
cheatsies,
you
it's
left
the
your
girlfriend-
wife
yeah,
for?
like, and you're gonna bring her to sit in the front row at bar mitzvah. His mother was sitting several rows back.
That's not right.
Morty,
Morty.
you bastard. So anyhow, after that, here comes Uncle Carmine.
He's like, Morty's garbage. It'd be an honor for me to take him out. And she's like, whoa.
No, don't you dare.
No.
She's like, no, like thank you though. Thank you.
After everything your father did for him?
Right? The first year of his business, every piece of his stock fell off the back of one of our trucks.
And she's like, what?
Really? He's
We're
like, check
happy
his
to help
books.
the newlyweds. But
Right.
yeah, check his books. They're
Pure
fiction.
Bestsellers.
So cut to Elizabeth Berkley practicing her
Mother, where are you? Over here, you bitch. I met a man. He's an angel. He's a god. He's a doctor.
Oh my God.
Oh, man.
So yeah, she is there with Bill, Elise's ex-husband, when Elise arrives to get
pick
shit
up
from
more
the
shit.
house. And fucking
Phoebe is like,
she's stoked.
oh my God.
Elise
I wanna be
Elliott!
just like you, but me. Well,
And
be
she's like,
afraid. Be
yeah, I have some
very
advice. Be afraid.
She's like, oh my God, I have the best idea.
Bill's producing this movie,
Where I'm playing like this hot new director, and I'm Monique.
and I want you to play my
You
mom.
can be my mom.
And sheer face.
Oh my
just
God.
fucking. So now Annie is looking for a base of operations for the First Wives Club when Elise is realizing, oh, well,
Right.
I just have an empty building downtown. Would that work?
They're like, what?
Oh, sure.
Well,
they
yeah,
go
first
check
they
it
go,
out.
They have all that shit, and that is her Oscar.
Oh, in the office, all
Yeah,
the
that
stuff
one
she
that
has
she brought it
packed
from
in her
home.
or in her house or whatever.
Or whatever, yeah. She brought it from home. That's her own
Nice.
whatever. And I guess there was some story, because that's what, and then Brenda picks it up, and it's like, oh, it says I beat Meryl. I guess what's her butt that Jennifer Lawrence won some award, and she made that joke.
Oh, really?
Not when I don't know if it was like when the press thing or when she accepted it or whatever, but nobody got it, and they thought she was an asshole.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they were like, what the
And
fuck?
she's like, no, it was from.
No, it's from fucking
from
First
First
Wives
Wives
Club. I guess
Club.
fucking Meryl got it.
She thought it was funny.
Right. But everyone thought she was rude.
So yeah, she realizes she's got this big empty building, and they go check it out. And now I have to say, we didn't get a montage of this building being
No.
cleaned and decorated.
I mean, we kind of, it was kind of like a,
well, it just went from this gross, dirty building to bam, it's
right, that's true.
beautiful.
Because we didn't have the sisters are doing it for themselves thing until later. So we kind of did, but later.
but not
no,
for the
this-
office
This paint job and this big
and all the desks
board
and all this
whatever,
stuff.
they had it all
Yeah.
printed.
Yeah,
How
we
long
didn't
did
see
that
any
take?
of that. I don't know. Doesn't tell you. So Elise calls her agent, and he gets her this great play, but she's like, I don't want to do theater.
Even Bill said I shouldn't do theater,
and they're
I
like,
agree
look, this
with him.
part is perfect for you. A barren, bitter, unloved woman.
Right.
She's like, that's not me. And they're like,
Come on.
girl.
Come on. So she's out there. She's like, isn't this frustrating? Like, is this where she's doing the stair climber thing? Or is that later?
It might be. I didn't write it in my notes that she was doing the stair climber.
Yeah. Oh, first, that's what she's doing. She's doing the stair climber. Doesn't it frustrate you that you never get anywhere? And she's like, no, I like doing this because it clears my head. And that's when Bill calls.
All pissed.
You sack of silicone.
Vindictive sack of silicone.
Because she's giving, like,
She's
they're
having
taking
his
the
Lambo towed.
Yep. She's like, mark it off, Lamborghini.
So now they need to get Morty's books to prove that he's a fraud.
So she gets on the treadmill and she's like, how do we get into, like, he just bought, okay,
He bought Shelly a penthouse.
in New York.
That's some money. To
Yeah.
be telling your wife of 20 years, like, I don't have money for alimony, but I bought my 25-year-old girlfriend a penthouse in New York?
Bitch.
That I'm about to hire a fucking designer to design for her, decorator or whatever?
Bitch. And like, I guess that's how they
I'll
got
rip
Burning
your big bushy
Sensation.
eyebrows out, Dan Hedaya.
I will rip them out with my bare hands.
Just
so that's what she says. Like, oh, that he got her a penthouse downtown. So Elise suggests, she goes, Duarto, Ganilla, we'll just
right. So they
she's gotta have
call
it decorated.
They get Guanilla to call Shelly to invite her to a social luncheon.
And of course, she's willing to do it because not only has she been a first wife, but a second, third, and fourth wife. And it accounted for her very comfortable surroundings.
So Shelly comes to lunch with her, and she is total trash.
Oh my God, she's like, usually I bring ranch. This is
you
way
bring
better. This is
ranch.
This is restaurant quality. She's like gesturing,
and she's all
with this
sucking her
fork,
teeth,
talking with her mouth full. Like Guanilla is like,
she is having a very hard time
cannot
not reaching
believe-
across the room and snatching her fucking hair
she's
out.
like, take the fork.
Yes, fork. So she's like, look, I have some words of advice.
Yes, you need a chef and a decorator.
Here's the decorator, Duarto Feliz. And she's like,
if you can get him. Like, she's got this card that and she snatches it.
well, did she say, was this where she said he did Jackie O, or no, that's later?
That's later at the auction.
So now Shelly's getting mad because Morty's like already.
He's like, what are we
doing? Why are we?
Well, first they get in the limo that she bought it. She took the card. She bought it. She's in. That's when Guanilla tells them, because they're downstairs in a limo. And they're like, we need to synchronize watches like Parker Lewis.
Did she say like Parker Lewis?
I said that. I think she says like Mission Impossible.
Yes,
but,
she said like Mission Impossible.
It makes me think of Parker Lewis if you're
Yes.
synchronizing watches. So now back at the penthouse, Shelly's all nervous.
Yes, she wants to make a good impression.
Right. And Morty's like, why? Who gives a shit? Why would she call you? What is
happening?
What is happening here?
So Duarto arrives and immediately is aghast at this chair.
Ashante, please do come in. And she's like,
this chair is agony. She's like, it's Morty's chair. And he's
I
like,
don't even like it. Like, just cover it up. He's like, what do you want me to do?
So Guanilla's, downstairs in the car.
With all those columns and that gingham and all that barnyard mercury back shit he put in that fucking farmhouse. He's got a nerve to talk about that comfy ass recliner.
Yeah, he was not a great decorator in his design show.
No.
Which
That was
I didn't
not
even think
Scrubs.
about. That was his Duarto Feliz
Right?
show. Should have been Duarto Feliz's design
Right?
show
It might have been better.
in this character.
Well, I don't know. The show was pretty good just because it was weird.
It was weird. So
We
yeah,
won't tag him in
he
this.
tells them they got to get out. He needs an hour alone in
Right.
this house. He's got to get a feel for it.
Yeah, I need at least 1 hour. And he's like aggressive, like,
Get out of your
get
own
out,
fucking
get
place.
out, get out. He's like, what's upstairs? Like, le office. Stay out of le office.
So they leave, and he almost blows it because he opens the door while they're still like
Yeah.
waiting
Oh,
for the elevator
bye.
to shut.
And they have a fountain.
Yes.
What floor is that?
There's at least 2 floors in this penthouse, so
Well, it's a penthouse. Makes me think it's like
it
top
should be the
floor.
very top floor. That's what penthouse means.
That's what I would think. This reminds me of when they got that massive fountain in the apartment in Splash.
Oh my god, I haven't watched
Remember?
Splash in so long, but yes, I remember there
He
was
comes
a fountain.
home and he's like, "Wow, T. No Hanks, how did you get this in here?
No Hanks.
How are we gonna move that?" So anyway, finally, Duarto calls the gals in, and Brenda's like,
She breaks down crying
Yes.
because this girl's got a
Wouldn't
princess
you?
bedroom
Wouldn't
and there's a
you?
fucking fountain and she's living in just like middle class housing with her
I
son.
mean, like the apartment's nice enough, but like,
not, it don't look like this.
you even have your child. Your child, whatever. Fuck you, Morty. That's why Jason wants to stay over,
Yeah.
bastard.
So they're looking everywhere for these files, and they go up these stairs with these hanging handrails.
know,
They're
it's
like
like,
hanging
oh.
by fishing line.
I know. It's like I'm dizzy because he suggests Duarto's like, "There's an office upstairs."
Yeah, it's upstairs. So they get up there. Brenda finds what she needs, but they get a call. Social climbers are on the rise. They're already back.
They're trapped.
And she's like, Duarto, stall. Make something
Right.
up.
And he's like, "What do you want me to do?" He's like, "I'm already making shit up."
And now, is Annie screaming unclean during this?
I'm clean.
Oh, I'm clean. I thought she was going unclean.
No,
unclean.
at least that's what the subtitty said.
Okay.
She's like, I'm clean. There's like, she's panicking.
And they're like smacking her with rolled up papers. Like,
Right,
shut the
stop.
fuck up.
Like, you're screaming in here. She was screaming outside too, but I guess it's probably like an Ace Ventura situation.
Right. You can't. Exactly. So Morty and Shelly come in, and he's like, "Oh, go look out the eyes of the room, the window.
The
The valance is the eyebrows."
Right, because they're like, keep them away from the front door so they could try to sneak out.
But Morty's got to pee. He just
fuck.
You can't keep Morty anywhere.
No, you can't keep. Morty's not into this.
And was that toilet in a gold basket?
It was weird, wasn't it?
It was like a regular white toilet, but it was
like
in a
it
gold,
was
basket.
plated, but inside,
But
it was
in a
regular.
square of gold.
Maybe
It was very
shit in
weird.
a gold basket. It's a snake charmer. A big old turd snake comes out.
Oh no! Oh my god! I think I talked about this before, but there was an episode of Red Dwarf where everything went in reverse.
Oh
And
no!
somebody went to go take a poop in the woods, and they came back and their hair was just standing on end, and their eyes were huge, and everyone else realized what happened, and they were like, he was like, "Don't ask," because
Go out to the forest, find the turd.
it would have been
over it
like
and
exactly,
suck it back up.
exactly.
Yeah.
So yes, I bet he wishes he was at least on this gold Cobra
Basket.
toilet.
Yeah, sure.
So yes, so they're panicking. They're trying to figure out how to get out of here, and they finally see this sliding door in the office
Right,
that
so
goes
they-
out to the balcony.
They go out on the balcony. They're out on the terrace. They're still trying to find a way down, and they see the window washing thing.
Yes, the little lift or whatever.
And he looks over the side and just
Just
They're
panics.
shut up.
And Elise climbs right in. She's like,
like,
I do my own stunts. And they all get in.
Mm-hmm.
They pass the window. Duarto distracts
And
Shelly and Morty.
He's like, oh shit! Like, let's not look at this. Let's look at the stairs over here. And like they're fiddling with the controls, and they drop
Super fast.
and stop. Where this
couple's having a little
day.
afternoon delight.
Oh,
Afternoon delight. And they stop. They're like, is that Elise Elliott?
oh shit! You look great.
What?
You look great.
And then they
Thank
drop,
you. Oh my
rushing to their
gosh.
deaths. And Annie stops it just in time.
Her hair like sticking straight up on end with her screaming like that. They're trying to give me the controls, and right in the nick,
They
like
stop it.
They look over like, oh shit.
And Brenda's like, can we go again?
And fucking Guanilla's like, oh my fucking God.
Oh, my Lord.
So now they're all celebrating.
Eating pistachios from a bucket in a candlelit room and drinking wine or
You
something.
know what? If we just cheated death, bitch, I hope we get something better than a bucket of pistachios
Right?
after that.
You better get something delicious after that.
We're getting cocaine.
Right? Hell yeah. What an odd evening. So
Right.
Annie brings up Cynthia's 21st birthday and how they were going to sing like a girl group.
And this is where she says, I would have rather have just gone up to the top of that building and jumped.
Then,
Like, that's
then
a hell of a
sang in
thing
front
for
of
you to
people.
say.
Wow.
Considering that's what Cynthia
I was
did.
terrified. Oh, yeah, that too. They're like, look, you were wonderful. And
You were
Brenda's like, we
great.
should do it again. And
We
she's
should-
like,
we were a group. We are a group.
but all three of us,
All
right?
of us, you're going to sing with me. Yeah, we'll
Real
blend.
loud?
We'll blend.
Yeah, all right.
Me, me,
Happy
me, me,
birthday,
me.
Cynthia.
Right.
Me.
You don't own me.
I'm not
just
one of your many toys. You don't own me. Don't say I can't go out with other boys. Ba 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 ba. And don't tell me what to do. And don't tell me what to say. And then she's like, and they stop singing, and
I know.
only Annie's singing solo. And she
Annie,
panics.
take it.
And it's like, it's just you and your friends.
I
Fucking
know, who
relax.
cares?
You're
Like,
not in
well,
public.
she's very tense all the time.
She is.
Every time I hear that song now, I think of the Rasputina version.
So do I.
I always hear that.
If you guys don't know who Rasputina is, look up the Rasputina "You Don't Own Me" cover
They also
as a
cover
start.
Barracuda, which we
They
did
cover
last
Barracuda,
time.
which is a good one also, but they also have originals. But
Well, yeah.
I think once you start with their covers, when you hear rock cello covering some of your
cello.
favorites, then you're
Right.
going to be like, all right, what else do these
Rock
ladies
cello
do?
favorites.
Mhm.
We've talked about them before, but
We
this,
have.
it always comes up organically. We're just pushing the pen. It's fine. They should come this way. They never do.
It's been a while. I don't know if they still tour or what.
There
or
was
if it's
the
just
last
on
time
the
I
East
saw
Coast.
it was a thing. Yeah, the last time I saw it, I was like, ooh. And I went and looked, and it was like, nowhere.
I feel like I've seen them live more than any other band because they used to play for $20, like just locally. No more.
I know.
So Chris leaves Annie a message. She's got news. I think you should get back into the ad business.
Right. So I guess that must have been what she did. So Annie calls Brenda about if I could do this, if I could get some money, I could buy out
Aaron from his shares of this business.
She could buy out Aaron's partners and have majority because there's two of them, right? Is that what that means?
Yes.
Because there's two guys. So then Brenda calls Elise.
Like, oh, wow, Annie needs some money. I wonder where she could get that from.
Where do you think she can get that kind of money?
So then Brenda leaves a message. Oh, no. So that's the down payment.
Right.
And then Elise sells her Bill's things.
Right. For a very reasonable price. And then they put all that shit up at auctions at Christie's. So they get all the money to buy all that shit.
And they've got Duarto's got Shelly. Duarto and Guanilla have Shelly at the auction trying to get her to overbid on all kinds of shit.
They're basically making Morty pay for all of the shit that Elise took from Bill.
Yes.
In order for Annie to take out Eric.
Exactly.
So good.
It's genius.
So
genius. Good. And so Shelly's like a little bit hesitant on some of this stuff, and they're like, "Look, you'll be on the cover of Architectural Digest.
Right, it's
Come
the
on."
cover, and like she bids, and they're trying. Like Elise is there.
She sees Elise bidding and bids on
she's
stuff.
Got good taste for an actress.
She's like bankrupting Morty, basically.
I know, $140,000 for a Japanese Charger, $300,000 for Bill's Lamborghini, like $70,000, like.
And that was when she's like, Jackie O has one just like it.
She
finally bids.
They almost lost their shit on that fucking Japanese Charger. Because that's when Brenda bid.
When Brenda in her blonde wig. Yeah.
Like, Jackie O had one just like, they're like, get her
to
fucking do it.
So Jason comes home from baseball and mom's all dressed up. Do you have fun with your dad? Yeah, but don't let that bother you.
She's
like, it doesn't bother me. He's a good man.
First, that's what before this happens, Shelly goes home.
Oh, yeah,
and Morty is like, what the fuck? And she's like,
I bought you a Lamborghini.
With
like,
my
with my money.
And then she's like, well, I could leave if you want
All
me
I
to.
want is a lifestyle.
She must have magic pussy.
Seriously.
Magic. He's like, no, it's
not like you asked me to marry you.
Right.
You want to unzip me?
I'm sorry, Shelly.
I lost my temper.
I lost my temper.
The Lambo was a great deal.
Oh, my God. So then Jason comes home. Brenda's lost weight. She's in something old.
She's all in a good mood. And then he's like, oh, I'm glad you're not mad about Dad because, like, he's getting engaged to Shelly.
Well, I was kind of freaked out because Dad told me that he just got engaged to Shelly. And she's like, oh, yeah.
Oh, great.
See how that would rip your heart out.
So they meet at Elise's.
And she is drunk.
And she wants to nail Bill and that tramp.
She's like, this isn't fair, man. Because they're like, there's nothing
on Bill. He's a saint.
On paper, he's clean. He's
so
clean.
Keep trying.
He's clean. And she's like, look, man, it's not fair. This is shitty. Like, you guys are getting shit, and it's my money, and this, that, and whatever. And Brenda's like, hold on.
She's like, you grew up gorgeous. You haven't even hit puberty thanks to the fucking, Cher's
innovations or whatever. Like, you're full of shit.
Your perception of life is somewhat altered.
Right. And you're fucking drunk.
Right. I'm not drunk.
Right.
And she goes through her trash and it's all bottles and gallon jugs of liquor.
You think just because I'm a movie star, I don't have any feelings. I'm an actress. I have all of them.
And then she's looking at all her trash and she's like, I had guests. And she goes, who? Guns N' Roses?
I know. She's like, they're like, now they're screaming at each other and throwing Golden
You didn't
Globes.
invite me to your son's bar mitzvah.
You wouldn't have come.
She throws her Golden Globe at her photo and smashes it. And Elise tells Annie, you need to choose which one of us is your friend.
Right, because Annie's like, you guys, come on, stop. And she's like,
I'm the nice one.
Then
I'm not
gang
like
up
this.
on her.
You wimp, you wuss, you self-righteous pipsqueak.
You guys are both assholes.
And Brenda slaps her.
She
and Elise slaps Brenda. And Brenda slaps her.
Elise. Everybody's slapping everybody.
And Annie's like, stop. Do you guys remember what we're doing here?
Exactly. And then she storms out. And then Brenda's like, I always wondered, how drunk do you think Cynthia was when she decided to jackknife onto Park Avenue? And she bails out of there, too. So now it's sad times montage.
Yes.
Sad times montage.
Brenda's shopping. Elise is cleaning up the mess in her apartment.
Trying to. She's hungover.
Brenda's snacking on the way home. Annie's sadly looking at her pearls.
Right. She talks to Mom and Chris and like, call them. You can make it work. Write them a nice note or send them a nice hanging plant. She's like, no, it's over.
Elise gets a cab. Annie's talking to her mom about everything falling apart. And Chris is like, stop apologizing for yourself all the time. You can make it work. And she's like, no, it's over.
Right, it's over. So then Elise gets to Brenda's, all melting.
I don't want to be like Cynthia.
Oh, so they make up, and then they come down to HQ, and Annie's like clearing.
She's packing up already. And they're like, why? What are you doing?
What are you doing? And she was like, we're
embarrassing ourselves.
Exactly. Like
we're witches.
3 witches, which is funny because
then Bette is a witch later. And she's like, 3 witches. So I'll tell you something witches have. Powers for good and evil.
Right? We're thinking too small.
We were only thinking of getting back at our exes, but that's so petty. We got to expand. We go global.
First, we finish what we start because they do deserve it.
Yes.
And then we'll go global. So, like, are you in? And she's like, no, I don't know. What if you fight? What if we fight? What if Elise gets drunk?
And Elise is like, look, I'm sober and I'm going to do the play.
Yeah. So she's like, okay.
We got our shit together. We're back.
Let's do it.
Let's get to work.
So Elise meets with Phoebe.
And it's like, I'm seriously thinking of taking this part of Monique's mom.
Right? But don't say anything to anybody, but I'm thinking about it. So let's get to know each other.
Bill's so wrong. You're not Satan. Oh, stop.
Oh, come on.
Morty filming his commercial, and he's got Shelly in it, way overdressed to be in a shopping for an appliances commercial. A low-quality, top-cost appliance, she says.
Low-quality, top-cost appliance. Shelly, goddammit. Shelly, goddammit.
When the U.S. Marshals, on behalf of the IRS, show up to arrest Morty.
Oh, shit. And on November 28th, at exactly 1400 hours, Operation Hell's Fury swung into action.
And you get the hint that it might not really be U.S. Marshals when they put Morty in the trunk of a car.
It's definitely Carmine's boys. So then Aaron comes into work.
And his daughter's there like, poor daddy.
It's going to be hell.
Your 9 o'clock is waiting in the conference room.
Oh, man. And this is so good. So he's like, what the fuck is this?
And she just smiles.
She's like, well, I heard that business was very dysfunctional. So I bought them out. Your partner's out. He was like, what? And these 2 guys, they think he's such a dick.
Oh, yeah. They hate this guy.
They think he's such a fucking dick because they're like, Annie, thank you. Love ya.
And while all that's happening, Elise is there at Bill's office throwing his phone in the trash. He wants his first check. She's like, sit down. Shut up.
Right? We're going to talk.
And Morty is unblindfolded to find Brenda and Uncle Carmine and his crew. And they've got evidence. Wake up and smell the audit.
Yep.
So, yeah, now and Annie's telling Aaron she bought his partners out. Cut to Elise dropping Bill his half of their assets on the table, which is
50 cents. Given our time together, I thought it was more than fair.
And she's like, oh, well.
All right. Take it all.
Brenda's telling Morty she wants his money, all of it. Or he can go to jail.
Right. You can either give it to the government.
Or you can give it to me.
Go to jail. Or you can give it to me. I want full control of all of the shit. And I will keep you on an allowance that I feel like you should become accustomed to, a lifestyle that you should become accustomed to. So then
Aaron's freaking out. I'm going to take my clients with me. And she's like,
oh, I don't think so, honey, because
I
just landed a $45 million account.
Morty is a $45 million account.
His books are cooked, babe.
I guess.
For like a crazy Gideon's.
Right?
I mean, he was also involved with the mall. So,
but they said only in the first year of their marriage, like just to get them started. So I don't know how that works.
Well, maybe he never went clean, baby. He never went clean. He couldn't. The money was too good.
And Bill telling Elise, so I dumped you for another woman. Get over it. Lift something, whack something, have something peeled. And she's like,
oh, well.
Oh.
How old is she?
Oh, she's 21.
25, 26?
She's 21.
21. Yeah.
In about 5 years.
She's 16.
And she's got Elizabeth Berkley's high school yearbook.
Oh,
she dropped out her freshman year.
You should have done your research, Bill.
And he's
all,
yeah,
like you're not
what are you
going to
do
about this?
Right
I'm
now?
Use the F word.
Felony. Cut to Annie. She's like, let's discuss this in my office. And he's like, if you go through with this, we'll have nothing.
Being so selfish. Like, I'm 46 years old. I'm going to have to start over from scratch.
And she's like,
I know how you feel.
I know just how you feel.
Bitch.
So she hands him her business card for the First Wives Club. Yeah, they all hand them over their business card.
Be there in 2 hours.
2 hours.
And so they all show up at HQ. And Chris is already there.
She's their receptionist.
Right. She's working down there. And he's like, Daddy, can you tell me what's going on? Like, I can't handle anymore. She's like, oh, Daddy. Oh, by the way, I'm a lesbian. A big one. Like, that was the perfect moment, if that's what she was trying to do.
Right before he gets fucked by his ex-wife. So the women tell the men they've gathered them here for one reason. It's not about revenge. It's about justice.
Exactly. But you're going to have to pay over and over again.
Our friend died from neglect, and you're going to make us be very sure that doesn't happen again.
Like, you can't make us do anything.
Well, Vito can, and Uncle Carmine can.
And Tony can.
And what do we have to do? You have to pay. So cut to them literally breaking down a wall. Morty.
Sisters,
yep. Everybody's cutting checks. 150 grand, 250 grand. Bill's crying.
Run me that fucking check, bitch.
Elise stars in Women of a Certain Age. Gets a standing ovation. Annie's now marketing exec. And then the Cynthia Swan Griffin Crisis Center for Women is unveiled.
Hell of a title. That's a big sign.
And Kathy Lee Gifford is there for the reveal.
Right. She's like, somebody told me that this all happened because all of your husbands left you for a younger woman.
And they're just all,
that is what
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
So now Morty rolling up in his Lamborghini with Shelly.
Right. And she's like,
I don't want to go in.
I'm not feeling special.
Or loved.
I don't want to go. We got to talk about the wedding. And
I'm not
like,
Brenda.
No, you're not.
And you can tell in that moment he's like, yeah, you're a fucking pain in the ass.
You kind of are. So they all go inside. They're having this party.
Ivana is there.
Yeah,
Ivana Trump is there.
We have to be strong and independent. And remember, don't get mad. Get everything. And now, what'd she get? What'd she get?
Buried in the golf course.
Right?
Sorry.
Her shit heel ex-husband golf course.
And Carmine introduces himself to Guanilla. And she's like, what's up,
Hello,
Carmine?
what's up, Carmine? And Duarto's over there talking shop with Gloria Steinem. And like Aaron's over there sad at the party.
And then her mom, Annie's mom, comes to her and she's like, you're not getting any younger or thinner. And you're like, oh, great. She's like,
here she goes.
You know what I think you need? Absolutely nothing.
Well, because first she tells her, oh, baby. She tells her, like, I'm glad that you didn't get back together with him. And look at you. Like, you're doing great, but you're not getting any younger or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's a nice little thing. Brenda makes Jason dance with her.
But then Morty shows up and he's like, Dad, save me. She's doing it again.
Right. And he's like, oh, lay off him. He's a good kid. Not like his dad.
And Jason takes off and Morty's like, you look good.
Right.
Shell's in the car. Glove compartment.
Trunk.
And he's like, was I this old when we were married?
Yes, but I liked you this old.
So they dance and Jason watches smiling from the corner.
Right.
And Elise is dating an actor in her hit play, which I'm guessing is Jon Stewart.
That's what I wrote. That's got to be the Jon Stewart part, but they took the whole thing out. They took
just
the
for
whole
time.
Thing out. They were like, he was fine. It was fine.
It was just cut for time.
Didn't go with the story. So, and Aaron, well, he and the doc broke up and he wants to come back. He's ready to recommit. I told him to drop dead.
And meanwhile, Bill is approaching Shelly.
He's like, nice car.
I used to have one just like it. And she's like, what's going on in there? Is it just battered women dancing around or what?
Something like that. Not really my scene.
So at the end of the night, the ladies...
He's like, how old are you?
Oh, yeah. He makes sure. Get ID, though, Bill. Get ID.
I mean, get some cover. Well, you could always have a fake ID.
One of all the storylines, because they didn't know that about Aaron yet, what are the chances that he was in a movie with that storyline but didn't get given that storyline, that he's not the guy dating the teenager?
I know. He was so jealous. He was so mad that wasn't him.
So the end of the night, the ladies are alone celebrating at one of the tables, wishing Cynthia was there.
Right. And they're like, she is here, you know. They're all tired and happy and brave.
Brave? Like, you don't own me. No way, I'm out.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to do it. And then she's like, oh, come on, let's do it. And so she do.
So they all start singing.
And out into the night.
And they dance out into the night.
They grab their coats and don't bother to lock up. And Elise walks out with different shoes.
Yes. And they dance down the street singing.
Young and free, young and free, young and free, you don't own me.
So I don't know that this movie doomed me to do anything other than be very vindictive if my first husband leaves me for a younger woman.
Well, I mean, I guess so, but we're not like these people. We're not like super rich people.
That's true too.
I can't imagine what
like
my
what
husband
is he going to take from me?
To do.
He's going to take the $40 out of my fucking checking account.
Not my good lighter.
Oh no, not the good lighter.
Not my good lighter. Not my good coats.
Is
you can't
organic?
fit into any of my stuff, so it's not like you can't take any of my clothes.
Right? Yeah, I don't know what there's not much for him to take from me.
No,
so I think
I don't know
okay.
what you would even do.
So we have one. So check this out. We have a review from a place that I didn't even know we could get reviews.
Right.
And it's old because I didn't know you could get reviews here. So BB Sevilla, if you are still listening.
I hope you're still there.
You left us a review in July of 2023 on Podcast Addict that says this podcast absolutely rules. I don't know how I stumbled upon it, but I'm so psyched I did. They are so funny and have amazing chemistry with one another. 11 out of 10. Magnificent.
Wow.
What a review, BB.
Magnificent. Wow. Well, that was worth the wait.
So I hope if you thought that of us in July that you are still listening.
Or they. I don't know.
Or they.
He,
they, she, whoever. I hope you're still listening, and I'm so sorry it took us so long to find and read your review.
I hope you still feel that way. They're all like, this sucks now.
In fact, reach out to us if you're still listening.
Right?
Seriously, on Instagram, Doom Generation Pod, or on Twitter, Doom Gen Pod, or at our email, doomgenerationpodcast@gmail.com. And BB, I will send you a sticker.
Right, for our erroneous behavior.
For our delay.
Well, ours, I don't know. I don't ever check that stuff. You're in charge.
I didn't even know it was a thing.
I know. I didn't either.
But if you want us to see it and read it, leave us an Apple review. Send us an email. Send me an instant message.
And do it on the pods thing, too, because now she'll know that she could check it.
Yes, now I'll know I can check it. And don't forget, last weekend of every month on YouTube, we got our Doomcast. It's almost always going to be a Saturday, but every once in a while. Like in February.
Yeah.
We got to move it a day here or there, but it's going to be hopefully last Saturdays at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
It'll be at 7 p.m. regardless.
And if you want some free merch and you want some bonus audio like we just did Society for Patreon.
Yes.
You got to go to patreon.com/Doom Generation.
Yep, get in there.
For the low price of just starting at $2 per month. You can get in there.
You can get make suggestions for those
never
seen.
So these are ones we've never seen. Yeah.
So yeah, get in there if you're into it. And until next time.
Later, Doomers.